Alright. Alright, Innisfail. So, after Mariba, I had 2 weeks left in Australia. And so I went to Marcelo, to this place in Innisfail, or Japoon Vale. And it was a wonderful place, really. Like, I wish I would have spent more time there. Like, it felt as if I'd been there much longer than 2 weeks. But that is, in fact, only how long I was there. And it was a piece of land with a couple of people who bought it a while back ago, which was a sugarcane land. And I think there were 5 in total who bought this big piece of land of maybe 160 hectares or something, and then divided it between themselves. And the family I stayed with was Trish and Brett, and their kids were all adults and weren't living there anymore. But I got to meet 2 of them, Marlo and Boda, and they were really nice. And I had such a really nice, warm family feeling from them. Like, here I could relax, which I really wanted to do. Like, Trish was so nice and tried to accommodate us by cooking vegan and vegetarian meals every night. And we work maybe to about 4 o'clock, and then it was relaxed time, and either going to the river or preparing some dinner or whatever you liked. And they lived just at the base of a mountain range, and to get to their place, you had to cross a causeway in which there was heavy rain. That causeway would flood, and you would sort of be stuck there. And that happened too. Like, but in the end, but yeah, but their land was a small place in which they had some chooks and some veggie patches and also a couple of trees. Like, they weren't living off the land, but they were retired now. So Trish was a librarian, and Brett was working with a lot of different things. But they had a really lovely home, and lots of ventilation in that kind of environment. Like, because Japoon Whale was sort of the heart of the wet tropics. Like, where we lived, they have 8 meters of rain each year. Like, so they need a lot of airflow. 8,000 millimeters. That's crazy. But yeah, me and Marcelo worked in the garden and attended some banana trees and pruned some citrus tree, and then we worked on the pigeon coop, which Brett wanted. Uh, yeah, it was extending from the chicken coop, actually. Um, and it had to be completely snake proof, so a lot of work went into that. We also worked at a neighbor's place, Carrie's, and she was a bit of a wild woman once upon a time. Like, she shot her neighbor's tires. Yeah, with guns. And but she had calmed down now. But I was thoroughly impressed at what she had accomplished at her place by herself and a tractor. Like, she had so many different types of bamboo and fruit trees, like, everywhere, and so much land. Like, there you have no need for irrigation, like, cause it rains so much. You just put down a seed and it will grow. Uh, but sometimes a big hurricane would sweep across and just pull out every single tree out of the ground and totally devastate the landscape. Like, that happened as well, and they had pictures of it. Like, so, but then again, things grow fast there, so you guess you start again. Um, uh, so yeah, I guess you learn not to get attached that way as well. So we got to pick weeds from her place, and it was called like the worst weed in the world. I don't remember the name though, but it was very easy to remove. Like, but it could spread very easily and grows by rocks or something hard underneath. So, and it can climb up trees and smother it and choke it. But we spent like half a day to pick it up, and then we had a lovely curry lunch. And she had a lot of wallabies as well on her property that she takes care of. Like, and she also has a cassowary birds walking there, and they look like prehistoric animals, like almost like dinosaurs. I would have said, like, yeah, that's a dinosaur. Like, and I saw a family of them up close. Like, they were pretty but dangerous if crossed. And Marlo, yeah, their son, he's a whitewater raft instructor. And one day he took us down the river, like the same one running over the causeway. And he said there are banana trees growing on the riverbank. So we took our canoes and headed up the river by car. And I'd never done rafting like this before. I've only paddled in still waters in canoes, so this was a bit nervous for me. Like it wasn't a very violent and dangerous river, but it had some parts that were quick and you could potentially flip. Like, but off we went, and it was fun. I remember I panicked on the first quick because I just couldn't control the canoe, but it went okay. Phew. And I remember that the day before we had been in Yaraba and working on a different project there as well, which I will tell you about later. But there it was hot and I didn't drink enough water. So while on the river, I felt like really heavy in my head. I did feel like before we started, I didn't really want to go, uh, but I did anyway. Well, I did want to go, but I knew it was, yeah, going to be a bit tough or bad. However, I would have to pay for it later. Like, but along the river, there were trees growing, and people had planted, and we spotted some ripe ones. So we stranded our canoes along the river and went banana harvesting. And I think we got two bunches from that trip. And so Marlo had a big canoe, and he could pack both of them, and yeah, it was really nice and pleasant journey. It's actually amazing to have that. Like, and it had some that river had some nice quiet parts and also some nice quick parts which I got used to and could actually maneuver in. So this was really fun. uh, Marlo is a really nice man, like really good. uh, his job is he's working on the Tully River, which is like a category 4 and is very international, so you could be an instructor in any country if you're able to pass that river. So, and he wanted to take us there, but time didn't really allow it to happen. But I did get to see how it looks, and it looked like a lot of fun. You're on a 6-man raft paddling, yeah. After that trip, I got really tired and sick as well. I had to spend a few days in bed because of dehydration from yesterday in Yaraba. So yeah, there you go. And after I had recovered, we went to Mission Beach, which had a market as well. Like we spent the day there with the dogs and walking around the market. Like Brett had some errands to do as well. I bought some soap for them, uh, and as a goodbye present. And we also visited their neighbors. Like they had a birthday party, I think, and longtime friends of theirs. And so it's nice to see how people are living here and creating their own little family communities. And there was also a new house being built there, which Trish showed me, which seemed very promising. Like they had also had a little spot where they could swim in the river, and because they were off the grid as well, and they had their own hydro station, uh, and solar panels, and where the hydro where is a deep part in the river where you could actually swim and relax in, which was a very nice spot to go to. So yeah, so they told us the story of how it was first coming here and how they built their homes, which with not much, like, and how the hurricane would sweep everything except uh, the house away. Like we did see picture of how it was and was really different. Like how it was all sugarcane country before, and it's such an inspiring and amazing story to see how we can build our lives and how beautiful it really gets or can get. Like, and one time after a big storm, so many trees fell down that they got stuck there for 10 days, and Brett and Marlo had to chainsaw their way through. But they did everything together and made a thing out of it. Like, I had a really good time there, and yeah, I appreciated my time spent there, and I wish I had more time with them. And also visiting the rest of the family. Like, Marlo and his sisters were planning on getting some land up in the Tablelands and setting up their own place someday in the future. But what happens to the family place, I'm not sure. I hope it stays, or that someone stays there. Yeah, uh, that was in his fail.